afternoon and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name's Dan Davis. Hello. Thumbs up. What's up, motherfuckers? Dickhead.
Like, comment, subscribe below. Yeah.
You want to see what this ugly mug looks like? Well, here it is. Hey.
Have you seen the banter between because of Daz and Camel at the moment, in general?
No. I have more important things to do, like make sure this stream is running correctly. At least when I get the PS5 all set up, I could be running 1080p and not in fucking whatever this is.
Just make sure your internet's fast enough for 60 FPS, because mine's not quite fast enough for 60 FPS. Streaming, so I had to knock mine down to 30. Smoky Devil, who's been getting confused by playing motors and hearing that awful commentary, where we will take a phone call during the commentary.
Right, Imola circuit. The Autodrome Enzo di Dino Ferrari Le Mans.
Le Mans?
Le Mans.
Oh.
The Autodrome Enzo e Dino Ferrari Imola.
Or Imola.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Wait, what?
Are you okay, mate?
No.
Ah, dick.
Well, hopefully Whip have struggled with his tyre pressures. And then Daz ran out of talent. I did say that.
Right, so who are we missing so far? We are missing
Brazier.
Let's Go Brazier, and I believe we're missing Gary, and that's it, 12. And that's the 12.
Yeah, and Gary might be quite on there.
Gary! I can't even see that. I want it in English. That's the one that he died on. Variante Tamburello and Variante Villeneuve Tosa Piratella Acqua Minerale.
You got to do a hand gesture because it's
Acqua Minerale. Acqua Minerale. I got it right then. Fucking hell. Grisazzi. Crissini. And Rivazza. Yeah? Rivazza. The Rivazza number 1, the Rivazza number 2. You're the Academy, the Rivazza,
I want some pasta and meatballs.
I like the pizza. Touch me in the balls. Shit.
You might get broadcast on the facade on screen.
Good evening, welcome to Simplay Motorsport. Will you just touch me in the balls?
This is a burn before a stroke now.
I do like it in the balls, you know, like the sucky. Nah, it's in logos. No, it's not.
What's he? For?
I'm trying something.
It's the spicy meatball. Every fury moaning about the length of practice. Obviously you can go.
That's what I want, an image.
Camel. Oh.
This is gonna be so shit, but I'm gonna give it a go. I found a PNG which gives off all the names of the corners. I'm just gonna you know, every now and then just like change it and show that.
Well, you should put that in the stream and show it on the as a circuit map.
No, that's what I mean. I've got it saved as an image on here, and all I have to do is just click Vision, and it will show it, and I'll just hide it again. You know. I'm gonna give it a go.
One or two things have happened. It could be brilliant. Well, it's got to be better than the camera angles.
Oh, it's gonna be genius, or it's gonna be horrendous.
Yep. And we know Matt will be watching in Switzerland and thinking, what the fuck? It would be.
Yeah.
The thing is, I race on the stream before I wake up properly. He's like, I don't want to watch YouTube when I'm half asleep.
Oh, did you hear?
Did I hear?
I got a PS5 now.
I live here, yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it's going to cost me £30 a month, but yeah.
You gotta get some new faceplates for it to change it from white?
No, I'm just leaving it as it is. And then when I sell it, it'll be the OG one, you know.
No.
Right, are you ready?
Am I ready? Yeah.
Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis. I'm bringing you action here once again. With me in the commentary box is my good friend PN Motorsport. PN, how are you feeling this fine evening? And we're in the beautiful country of Italy once again at Imola this time.
Not too bad, Dan. be glad to actually see the back of Imola now. I've been here for most of the week. When the F1 was here back in May, when it was nearly underwater.
Yep, definitely. And Yuki Tsunoda decided to give some help out to people and trying to give them as much help as possible due to the horrible weather that did hit at Imola. But we are here at the Autodrome Enzo E Dino Ferrari Imola, as it's known as, or everyone knows it as the Imola circuit. Famously known for obviously taking the lives of two famous F1 drivers, but ever since then it's been a fantastic track nonetheless, and it's produced some amazing racing over the years. Lewis Hamilton, one comes to mind when he dropped it in the hairpin and had to do like a 1,000,000-point turn to get it out of the hairpin. And obviously George Russell and Valtteri Bottas coming together. Soon Russell will take his seat. Been iconic races, and Michael Schumacher hunting down Fernando Alonso right to the very last lap. Back when the original layout was slightly different, where they had a final chicane going down the main straight. But first things first, PN, we want to talk about obviously the track before we get into the drivers and what we have here this evening. It is a fantastic circuit nonetheless, and I'm going to try my very best with my new graphics to see if this will work. But we'll see. As we will try and bring it up now.
There's a slight echo. Hang on.
There we go. Look at that. So we have got the circuit up on your screen now. I hope it is up on your screen, so PN, you might have to tell me if it is or isn't, but I believe it is.
Will do.
But this is
a slight echo, Dan.
Okay.
On the screen.
Okay, hang on. I'm not sure why that is.
It might be because my headset's charging.
And also I probably turned you up as well, so okay, so hopefully that should have sorted it. We should have yeah, the audio
confirm the graphic is up.
It is up, but now we've just got audio problems. So here we are for Imola, third round of the season. I believe it should be a little bit better now, but we do have this famous circuit, obviously the famous turn one, which we see there Tibbs has in a moment there as he goes through a Tamburello and has a little moment through turn 4. Can we get another drive here? He's come to a stop. Ben's bouncing over the curbs, so we'll go with your championship leader at the minute, which is Ripper. I believe that should be I'm not sure who that is. 116. That's Big Boy Brazier. So we got Jamie in, and we're just missing Gary now. So Ripper is going to take us for a lap around Imola here. As he heads towards turn 1, he sets fastest out of 42 towards turn 1, known as Tamburello, and he goes into the left-hander first, into the right-hander and left-hander. Used to be one sweeping left-hander, but obviously due to the dangers of the corner, it has been turned into a chicane. He then heads up towards Villeneuve 5 and 6 as he heads into the braking point into the hairpin. He goes after where Roland Ratzenberger lost his life. So a tricky first sector here as he then head up towards Tosa. Turn 7, try and get a good exit out of there as he goes through turn 8, which really isn't a corner, and they head up to, I'm trying to pronounce this out, Piratella. Thank you. As he goes through turn 9 and turn 10 down the hill section where it's very easy to lose it, under braking into the right-hander and into 11 and 12, up the hill to 13, and towards the chicane he comes of 14 and 15. Very easy to get this wrong. You can run the curbs if your car has been set up to do so, as Rippers just bounces over like it's nothing, and through the exit he goes. Then he heads down towards Rivazza, the final 2 corners of 16, 17 and 18. There's 16 into the braking zone just before the 100-meter board, turns in, makes sure he gets the car out all settled as he tries to get the best exit out of the final corner of turn 18 towards turn 19. And that is a lap of your Imola circuit around here. And thank you, Ripper, for showing us beautifully how that was done as he crosses the line, and he doesn't improve. He stays 3/10 off the pace. So fantastic there from Ripper, and lovely insight there. And I thought I'd do a good job of bringing up the map, and I think that worked pretty well.
Matt's got to want it on Monday, didn't he?
Yeah, well, all I did was literally find an image on Google and just put the PNG file in, and there we go. So that is Imola. Sorry, just having a quick swig of my coffee because it's going to be an exciting night's worth of racing. Imola, a few little things as well. 78,000 capacity was opened in the 25th of April 1953. Major events is the Superbikes and obviously Formula One itself. And I believe it is known as the Emilia Male race, wasn't it?
The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix or something
That's
like
the one.
that.
It's in
San Marino Grand Prix.
The San Marino Grand Prix. That's what it used to be, the San Marino, but Emilia Romagna region of Italy, and it is, yeah, it is a fantastic circuit, brilliant, even better in the wet, and yeah. We are looking forward to a great night.
Not in F1 car, but you lose on the... Oh, wait.
Not in an F1 car.
That was another season.
And also, it's just over 3 miles long, 3.05 miles long. If you want it in kilometres, it's 4.9 around here as well. So a fantastic circuit nonetheless, and an interesting round for round 3. Now, let's get on to the championship, as it is all up for grabs still. Right, and let's have a... Ooh, okay, so my computer started to do some weird things. But either way, I have got the standards. It is Ripper who leads the way. He's only got 19 points ahead of Overtaker at the minute, who is his only real rival here tonight. Maximovic is sitting in P3, but no Matt here tonight. Then you got the surprise of the Jag in P4 of Nexus, with Wolfinator in P5. P6 is Exit Tibbs. With P7 is Gary131, all on his lonesome self tonight. Fury is in P8, with Peaceful Explosion in P9. P10 is N Plava, the Simplay Racing boys sticking close to one another, but Louis Allen is trying to hunt him down in P11. Euro is in P12 with Tech Leader in 13th. Jay is currently sitting in 14th place position, with Ben Bath sitting in 15th. Shane currently in 16th place position, but not able to race either tonight nor Ben Bath, as we've also got Big Boy Brazier in that 17th place position. 18th is Breeze, 19th is Smoky Devil, and T yet to score a point this season at the back of the pack. Regarding the teams, it's still Teletubby Motorsport leading the way, 18 points ahead of Jaeger Motorsport, but with no Bentley of Maximovic here tonight, Gary's going to struggle to score points on his own, and Gary's not here at this minute yet, so we'll see if Gary will get in. Killer Performance, Audi of Ripper all on his own, and he's still in this championship hunt for the constructors as well. He's only in P3, with Titan Oro Racing currently in P4, Simplay Racing in P5, with JWB Esports Racing in P6, the Flying Potatoes in P7, and Hot Wheels Racing in P8. Regarding the manufacturers, Bentley still lead the way with 10 points ahead of Audi. McLaren is in P3 with Ferrari in 4th. 5th is the Honda, and 6th is Lexus. 7th is Porsche. 8th is Aston Martin. 9th is Jaguar. BMW is 10th. Mercedes is 11th. Nissan is 12th. Lamborghini and Retia, the only 2 cars not to appear this season. Whew. Right. Now we got that bit. And breathe. That's the next one. A quick weekly roundup as well. 3 podiums, and the Ferrari will get its 50th podium. And also Fury needs 4 wins for his 50th. Obviously, he'll get possibly 2 if he has a good night's worth of racing tonight, or he'll have to wait till the GT4s. The most successful driver around here in the pro category is Big Boy Brazier, with a pole position and a win to 2 wins to his name. Overall, it is myself with 2 pole positions and 3 wins. So Imola PN, it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. Obviously, firstly, we've got the reverse grid to start off with, and Ripper is probably a little bit happier knowing that the grid is a little bit smaller tonight, so that means there's less cars for him to overtake.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to overtake around here, because it's quite narrow, good old-fashioned circuit, no acres of tarmac runoff.
It is a very old school circuit, and you do have to be committed into your overtaking position. Regarding the reverse grid, if Gary gets in tonight, this is your reverse grid order. It will be Smokey who will start on pole position, with Big Boy Brazier starting in 2nd. Then we will have Jay starting in P3. Then we should have Tech Leader in P4, with Louis Allen in P5. Peaceful Explosion will be P6. Fury will be in P7. Gary 131 will be in P8 with Exit Tips P9. Nexus will start in P10, and he will be in front of the two championship leaders. Overtaker in 11th and 12th will be Ripper. Regarding cars here tonight, though, PN, which do we think is looking the favourite at the minute?
For a Bentley, because it could attack the curbs. Personal experience on Tuesday night.
Well, if we're going by personal experience, then I'm going to have to say the for me is the Audi is quite good round here as well. We're currently on board with the Jaguar, and looks like a bit of a handful for Nexus at the minute. But nonetheless, it's very much a chassis circuit, isn't it? It's all about the car being comfortable, the suspension, able to run the curbs, get up onto the curbs, and really abuse the mechanical grip round here.
Yeah, I tell you, a car you don't want to be in. KCM, it did not like it around here. Well, on Monday night, things would not stop.
The Camaro did not mind it, may I say. But right now we have got a few of the guys out on track. We still got 13 minutes left of practice. Overtaker setting the fastest lap at the minute with 42.3, with Ripper currently in second. Tech Leader and Jay both in the Ferrari, sitting in third and fourth, with Peaceful Explosion in fifth. Smoky Devil was in that sixth place with Fury in seventh, struggling a little bit at the minute in his McLaren, with Tibbs in eighth, Nexus in ninth, Louis Allen will be in 10th, and at the minute Big Boy Brazier still yet to set a lap time. Right, let's get a poll going, and obviously the reverse grid also throws interesting racing here tonight. If you were to look at the order as it is now, PN, for the reverse grid.
Jamie, Big Boy Brazier. He's starting P2, so he's looking quite good. He hasn't set a lap yet. He's probably starting a setup like that.
Yeah, so you're going
hang on, I'm just double checking the reverse grid actually. Yeah, if anything go to plan, should be Jamie, but if not, Overtaker and Ripper will make their way through quite easily.
Jay's looking quite good on pace at the minute as well, and as is Tech Leader, so I think those two could be ones to keep an eye on, because they're not far off the leader's pace. Well, Tech Leader is only 9/10 off of Overtaker's best, so I think as well he's going to be starting in P4, so he probably would have a very good chance. But either way, there is the poll, so you can get your votes in now on who you think is going to win the first race. Right.
But race 2 though, Jay's got a quality ban, and as has Tibbs.
Has Tibbs, yes. Both of those guys have got qualifying ban for retiring last time out at Monza. Obviously, the rest of the season is going to be an interesting one. Next one will be the Hungaroring, and a track that's going to be completely different to this one as well. So it's all about trying to score as many points as possible this season. Regarding Ripper, on the other hand, obviously his main championship rival is Overtaker. He is fastest at the minute, as Louis Allen crosses the line and no improvement, as Tibbs goes P4 now. With no Matt here, he's looking pretty sweet at the minute regarding scoring some more points. He just needs to make sure that he keeps Matt behind him. Sorry, Overtaker, that's the one. Yeah.
I know you're confused because there's a black and orange Bentley. Said Matt has been known to run a black and orange Bentley. Yeah, that Overtaker might be quite hard to. Overtaker's looking very punchy here tonight.
Yeah, like you said, the Bentley seems to be able to run the curbs here. You know, it's a circuit that the Bentley seems quite comfortable abusing the curbs and running, as we're on board with Tech Leader. He just has a little moment there. As I'm going to try again to try and work some magic here, but I don't know how well it's going to go. As Tech Leader goes into the final sector, as I will now bring up the calendar, and this is what we've got left of this season. As you can see, we have got still to come Hungaroring, Donington Park, Bathurst, Laguna Seca, Suzuka, Nürburgring and Misano, all still yet to come this season. All circuits that are very different in their own unique ways. Probably one that's very similar to this one will be Donington Park. Obviously not a lot of long straights, but it is going to be an interesting end to the season.
Donington's not going to be this warm or dry.
No, it definitely won't, but nonetheless, it is an interesting season ahead, and I am looking forward to heading to Mount Panorama as well to see how these boys get on around there. But yeah, it looks like a great calendar nonetheless.
Yeah, well, Bathurst. In GT4s, I'm definitely going to struggle at Bathurst because you've got 2 long straights, but up on the mountain, the KTM should be king. Because it's corner after corner after corner, a lot of walls.
It is indeed. As well, another one to look forward to. We've got a couple of night races. Well, we've got one night race at Nürburgring, and we've also got an evening and early morning race. The early morning, I believe, is going to be Mount Panorama, and the evening race is going to be at Suzuka. So again, temperatures are going to be different as well in those conditions. And we haven't had a wet race yet, have we?
No, surprisingly.
Surprisingly,
obviously,
not.
we need to have a season in the UK just to get the wet weather by the look of things.
It's looking good. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We got Ema Kizzle in the chat saying good luck to everyone. We got, I believe that's Dennis Newman as well in the chat. We got Peaceful Explosion. We got DJ Phil as well. Overtaker and Fury's Grandad. Good evening, everybody. And if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single here at Simplay Motorsport. As these guys...
And we do apologise for the cameras. We've had 2 weeks of this now, and it must be either PS4 ACC or it's G4. It's beyond our control now.
Yeah, it is out of our control at this minute, but nonetheless, we will be trying our very best to try and get it fixed as much as possible. Daz Automatic also in the chat. Nice to see him here this evening. Didn't go the way he would want to last night, but nonetheless, he will come back stronger next time round at Hungaroring.
To be honest, race 2 didn't go to plan for you either last night, did it?
No, not particularly, but hey, like I said the other day, when the thing about this circuit, when you get it right, it rewards you. When you get it wrong, it will bite you in the bum. So, yeah.
And Gary's now in the session.
We do have a Porsche in the session now of Gary131, so it's nice to see him in here. And I'm just having a little play with our stream, so we can have some lovely graphics and stuff as displayed at the minute. If you haven't done so, also look in the description below. Head over to Audio Sport and Design Manchester as well, our wonderful sponsors. Have a look at all their wonderful stuff, and they post regularly as well on Instagram and also on Facebook as well, and go and have a look at them. If you are interested in anything here at Simplay Motorsport, then please head over to the SimGrid if you want to get involved in the racing here. There's plenty of spaces in AM and GT4s as well, so get yourself signed up. Let's get on and do some racing around these fantastic circuits. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. We've got some fast drivers, reverse grids. It is going to be a fun night's worth of racing.
Yeah, I don't want no more people than them, thanks. I'm quite happy with 10 people. I can beat most of them, apart from Danlick. And when Dean sends it on into Tamburello and race start, that was a cracking move actually by Dean. Back on Tuesday, unfortunately we didn't broadcast it because there was only 7 people who made the start. I think Dan's still here.
I am here, sorry, apologies.
And Phil's asking, is it a McDonald's coffee? That's not coffee, that's muddy water.
I am still here, apologies. I am just, like I said, just having a little experiment on things, and yeah. So, obviously we've got quite a long practice session. It does take a while for for these guys to get themselves all settled and sorted for tonight's race. Obviously, tyre pressures are very important around here. Making sure that you get it all nailed to perfect PSI so that you're able to extract the best performance out of this car. Obviously, I had a few issues with my pressures the other night as well, Pierre. The game, I think something about the game seems to be triggering a few little things because it was upsetting my pressures as well. Like the pressures weren't right for me. But how important would you say is pressures around a circuit like this?
Well, any circuit, they're pretty important because if you start getting underinflation, the car's not going to handle very well. And overinflation, the tyres are going to balloon and you're going to fall off the road as well. You've got to get them in that window.
Yeah, so. Indeed. And obviously it will stop you getting punches and just, you know, general over looking after the car and not abusing the curbs too much. We're currently on board with Gary131 in his Porsche 911. Famously raced around here in on an ironing board and won his first championship. And
Mike was wide out the exit Tamburello.
And as PN says, he went a little bit wide. These boys will now be testing the limits now of their cars to seeing how close they dare get to the gravel trap. So we've still got 3 minutes left to go. And get your votes in on who you think is going to win the first race. We've got a short qualifying session, which is only a minute.
Ripper's just gone fastest in practice.
As Ripper has gone fastest, but only just. He found a 10th more than Overtaker, and at the minute, we can have a quick look actually at the timetables. You can see where Ripper is fastest. Ripper is fastest in the first sector. He's actually done the same first sector as Tech Leader. So Tech Leader in the first sector is just as fast as Ripper and Overtaker. And yeah, that's going to be a close one into there. He's losing most of his time in Sector 2 and then all of it in the final sector. Overtaker seeming to be the strongest in the final sector. As Gary131 has a trip in the sand, goes and builds a sandcastle in the gravel trap. That Porsche is quite a handful as Big Boy Brazy is back out on track in his McLaren. Again, trying to find the limits in his car. Right. Go on, Pierre.
No, I was keying you in again. I just said, yep.
Well, it's just a ridiculously long practice session that we've just had to get through, and we're still not quite to the end of it. And with these camera angles, it doesn't help either. But either way, it's what we have, it's what we've got to work with. But nonetheless, it is going to be...
We did have more.
We definitely did have more, but the game, or whatever it is just being a bum. And yeah, the possibility of maybe leaving PS4 is on the curves, but we don't
it's highly
know.
On the cards.
It is highly on.
It's sorted.
Yeah, we possibly for next season, but we will work with this until the rest of the season. As Big Boy Brazier comes round and he does not set a lap time, so this is going to be his one and only lap that he'll be able to make valid. As Gary131 will also get one more lap in. I don't think Peaceful is even going to make it for a final. Oh, he might do. He might do.
Peaceful sitting P4.
Oh, he's gone. He's had a big moment through Rivazza, and he's into the gravel trap, and he's going to carry on, even though he's probably flat spotted those tyres.
Practice pit entry. That's not a bad call, practice and pit entry, because it's so quick, that line.
I was going to say, that's one of the... we'll stay on board with Peaceful Explosion. As he goes down the main straight, pit X is going to be interesting. Obviously, the guys coming out the pit lane has to stay within the white lines. But as you can see there, Peaceful crosses over the white line as he gets towards the end of the straight. And the guys who are on track will have to be wary of that. They do have to be cautious of other cars coming out on track to return back to the circuit. So they do have to make sure they stay to the left-hand side so they do not obstruct or make contact with cars exiting pit lane. But like you said, it's going to be difficult for these guys to really nail the pit lane because it's quite a tricky pit lane to get right.
It's quite a long pit lane as well. Not as long as Spa-Longazano, but it's still pretty long. And Laguna. Laguna has a ridiculously long pit lane as well.
It does indeed, and we'll go to Laguna again this season. We also go to Bathurst, which is one of the shorter ones as well. But Big Boy Brazier comes to the line to complete his lap time, and he will do a
P9.
P9. And he's 2.5 seconds off the pace at the minute. We are now just waiting on Peaceful Explosion to finish his lap times as he goes through the chicane. And we can finally get tonight's racing underway. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be an interesting night of racing. 12 cars. I know there's not many of them tonight. Obviously, a lot of them busy. Matt currently working in Switzerland. But either way, we will try and give him the best show we possibly can here at Simplay Motorsport. As Peaceful crosses the line, any improvement? No idea. As we can look at the tables. We can look at the tables. He don't think he did improve on that one.
Oh, we're
No.
going to see where our cars ghosted into someone on the grid in a minute.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. Absolutely.
Who's going to merge with the Simplay safety car, as I've made a Mercedes in Simplay red and black? And who's going to merge with your Audi and become one?
When two become one. Isn't that a famous Spice Girls song?
Wouldn't know. It is, but I wouldn't know. That's a long time ago now, I think. 2000, wasn't it? Something like that?
Something like that.
Something like grey hair.
You got grey hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Finally, we can return to the garage and we can get tonight's race underway. A reminder of the grid order. Once I can find it. There where it is. It is Smoky Devil who will start on pole position with Big Boy Brazier starting in second. Then it will be Jay in third with Tech Leader in fourth. Fifth should be Louis Allen. Sixth is Peaceful Explosion. Seventh will be Fury. Eighth will be Gary 131. And ninth will be Tibbs. 10th will be Nexus. 11th is Overtaker. And Ripper bringing up the rear as being championship leader.
Who am I merged with? I'm merged with Fury.
I'm with Smokey.
I'm merged all over Fury. I'm sorry, Fury.
Right, so we will get the race underway. So all these guys make sure they have the right tyres set, because they can accidentally put some old tyre sets back on. And making sure they have their fuel done corrected. They could add fuel if they want, but what's really the point for a 20-minute sprint? Let's be honest. Now, we are on board the man who should be starting on pole position. And like I said, it then should be in championship reversed order. 30 seconds till we can get
press drive.
I'm already on Smokey, so it's all good.
I've put my controller down so I don't press drive, even though you'll have to change back to another car again when it puts us in the pit lane.
Exciting things here with these cameras. Reminder, guys, there is the votes to get out on who you think is going to win this first race. So please get your votes in, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. As I've returned back to the pits.
Yep. Ripper and Overtaker are just waiting for the pack to go past, which is the correct thing really to do.
Dennis in the chat says, "Oh, Dan, I see the Audi." I think in the whole time, which Dan, I think you got used to looking at either the front of my Audi just haunting you towards the end of that race. But nonetheless, a massive congratulations on the win yesterday. It is Smoky Devil who should be starting on pole position. Then we should have Big Boy Brazier in second, which we do. Then we should have Jay in third. And then Tech Leader should be behind him, as he is. Then we should have the first Honda of Louis Allen behind him, as so. And then we should have Mr. Simplay himself, Peaceful Explosion. Then we should have the little Furby Fury in P2 with Gary 131, the Ironing Board Master, in that 8th place position. Then we got Agent Tibbles, Exit Tibbs, in that 9th place position behind Gary 131. And then we've got the gruntiest Jag you've ever heard in P10. Finally, Finally, we have Mr. Fernando Alonso running the 14, Overtaker in that 11th place position, and then we have got your championship leader, Ripper, at the back, and they've managed to do this all relatively well. And we might stick with Ripper for the start of this race, just because this is probably going to be an interesting view from the back of the pack. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, we'll go on board with Nexus, I think. We'll go on board with the Jaguar. PN, before this race gets going, who's your money on for the race win?
It's just put me into pits, and I can't go, but all I can do is drive. It's just put me in again now, so I can't see nothing.
Well, I think you might have to...
Control. I might have to wait here until the green flag. Well done, gang. I really hate these cameras. Wait. So I'm looking at the Simplay Merc right now.
So, prediction for race winner?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say, if they could get through the field, Overtaker, fellow Bentley driver.
I'm going to say Tech Leader for this one. As they now enter the final corner, they're going to get themselves in their 2x2 formations. It's a little bit of an odd formation at the minute, but we have got themselves all sorted. Ripper and Overtaker at the back, but it's Smoky Devil and Big Boy Brazier who start on the front row. Round 3 of the season. And we're about to get underway for the sprint race here. 20 minutes around Imola. Who is going to take the sprint win tonight? As they all come down the main straight, we're about to get underway. The race is initialized. We are about to go green very shortly. And we are off now as we see a couple of guys get a sluggish start. And we are on board with Nexus, and he's been hit straight away, as has Tibbs. And down the back of the order they go, and they manage to avoid all sorts of chaos as Big Boy raises. They've not all had the best starts there, as Tech Leader has gone off. There's the curse for him. And he's now drops to the back of the pack. He's got Overtaker and Ripper working their way through. And there is Nexus working his way up the pack as well. Fury, meanwhile, has had a decent start. He's on to the back of Jay. As they then head up towards the hairpin, it's still Smoky from Big Boy Brazier, from Jay, from Fury. Gary 131 has lost a place to Peaceful Explosion. Peaceful now up a place with Overtaker right on the back of the pair of them, with Ripper just behind his championship leader. Tech Leader, meanwhile, just dropping off the back. Louis Allen as well, and poor Tibbs has been caught up in the accident once again after a strong start to this season.
Yeah, curse of these reverse grids sometimes. As Jamie is now all over Smokey.
He is indeed. McLaren versus BMW. Can Smokey hold it together? As some of the faster guys are now coming for these two. And Big Boy Brazier, no slouch himself. He is working his way onto the back of the BMW. Jay just a little bit out of touch. He's got the other McLaren, the Fury, hunting him down. The number 13 looking to go down the inside of Rivazza, but he thinks better of it. Not quite as confident in the McLaren as he was in the BMW GT4 car, but he's still all over the back of the Ferrari. Jay touches the gravel ever so slightly, and Big Boy Brazier straight into the pits. He wants to clean air, and Fury's going to go down the inside of Jay. As there's Peaceful's in, Overtaker's in, Ripper's in, they're all in, and we're going on board with Fury. He's going to try and go around the outside of Tamburello, but the Ferrari's got a little bit better straight line speed. And Jay just hangs in there for now as Fury has to wait a little bit longer, as we've also got Nexus in as well. But the two Hondas of Louis Allen and Tibbs opting to carry on as, oh, you see there, Fury goes wide and loses a little bit of time. Tech Leader now all over the back of Gary 131.
Just trying to catch up. I watched Peaceful was very late on his brakes behind Jamie going to the speed limit line.
The problem for these guys, obviously for the likes of Ripper and Overtaker, they have got into the pit straight away, but it will have Big Boy Brazier, Peaceful, and all the other guys in the pit, so they will come out in front of him, and they also will hold them up. Meanwhile, Tech Leader has opted to stay out, and now all he has to do is try and clear the cars in front of him and try and use the clean air that he has. Big Boy Brazier has been dropped, but he's fallen behind Peaceful, Ripper, and Overtaker. So did Jamie have form of damage, or did he just have a slow exit? Or a slow pit stop?
He was further down the pit lane, right? Peaceful, and everyone else was a little bit further up.
As we go on board with Tech Leader and Fury. Fury, meanwhile, as Nexus says, he's got 1 minute worth of damage, so he's going to be in there for a while. Jay missed his brakes and goes wide. That gives Fury the opportunity to go down the inside, and through he goes. Meanwhile, did Tech Leader get Gary 131? No, he did not. So he's going to have to wait a little bit longer as Jay opts to pit.
Could have stopped.
Meanwhile, Smokey still leads at the minute, but he's now got Fury CBK hunting him down. Fellow BMW drivers in the GT4s, but this time round, Fury is in the McLaren, and he's going to be trying to hunt him down as quickly as possible. Peaceful Explosion has had a moment and has dropped behind Overtaker and Ripper already. So, me saying that these two were going to have traffic to get through, well, two of them have just jumped straight out of his way.
And they've got clear air at the moment as well, so...
They have got that clean air, but also they're racing one another, and Ripper's probably thinking, you know what, you can carry on leading in front of me, I'll just follow you, we'll just work together to clear this traffic. Right, Jay's in the pits, and he's not been dropped yet, but we will hopefully see him drop soon, as the cameras now, when I change over, are just being a bit rubbish.
Oh, you're getting me like almost PS1-esque graphics loading in.
Yeah. As we're on board with Tech Leader, who's still behind Gary. Gary's holding it strong at the minute. Meanwhile, Fury's already brought that gap down to 1.2. So he's slowly starting to catch Smokey Devil.
Overtaker's now coming down start-finish line. Jay is not quite over the limit line yet. He's now away. Overtaker, Ripper have both jumped Jay.
Meanwhile, Jay and Big Boy Brazier are coming down towards turn 1, up towards Tamburello. Is Big Boy brave enough to go down the inside? He's going to get the nose in, and he's got the job done. Brilliant move there from Jamie. He needs to get that done quickly because Jay was going to struggle to get some temperature in his tyres. Meanwhile, Ripper is all over the back of Overtaker. Overtaker clobbering the curbs a little bit there, and now Ripper is all over the back of the Bentley. He's going to look to the outside of the hairpin, and he can't quite get the grip to do so, and Gary's gone into the pits. Tech Leader now gets some clean air. Fury is now up to 7 tenths to Smokey Devil, but Ripper's on the inside of Overtaker as Ripper goes alongside and gives Overtaker a little shove and pushes him wide. He won't be too happy about that one. Meanwhile, Fury is 2 tenths behind Smokey. He's clobbered the curb though, and he has lost time there too. Smokey Devil. Meanwhile, Tech Leader has got some chance to go after the top two. As we've got Tibbs and Louis Allen, Gary all in the pit, but Ripper has not quite dropped Overtaker just yet. Meanwhile, Jay's coming back at Peaceful, Big Boy Brazier.
Battle between McLaren versus Ferrari.
That old classic
Peaceful's not far behind in the Honda.
He's not indeed, but he really needs these two to start racing one another so we can really get onto the back.
Oh, Gary and Louis are racing out of pit lane. They're side by side.
I think Gary should win that one as Ripper goes past. And Gary is off the limiter. Yeah, Louis Allen just allows the Porsche to go through. Meanwhile, Jay was on the inside of Big Boy Brazier while Gary was coming out the pit, so that was tight. And Jay gets ahead of Big Boy Brazier. That would give him a few positions, and I think Peaceful cleared Gary as well. Yes, he did. So it is still remaining as these two, Ripper and Overtaker, leading this group. Smokey is now into the pits. Fury opting to stay out and go long, while Tech Leader has also opted to stay out. He was 6 seconds behind Fury. He's now dropped that down to 5.5.
So, is some pace in Tech's Ferrari?
He was, I believe, he was third or fourth fastest? He was third fastest. He was 9/10 off of these two. So he's actually got some decent pace in the Ferrari. Now he's got some clean air. He can probably use it to his advantage. As Overtaker and Ripper come into the chicane together. Ripper runs a little bit wide. Hello, Tracy in the chat supporting Tibbs once again. Tibbs had a dreadful start and he's carrying damage, sadly. So, Gary's had a moment through the chicane. He's a little bit squirrely. Smokey's been dropped and Ripper is only now in the final corner. This is going to be tight.
Yeah, and Smokey had quite an early pit box as well, because he's already passed the Simplay Merc safety car. But ain't the safety car, it's a GT3 car, but close enough.
As no, Ripper has cleared him quite easily and Overtaker now. So what Overtaker needs to start doing is using his pace to attack Ripper, slow him down a little bit so that now Fury can use his pace advantage with clean air and try and get in front of these guys, because Fury was quicker than Smokey and Smokey was relatively close to these guys on pit exit. So
take a few track limits. Fury's in the pits.
So Fury is into the pits. How quick is the stop going to be? Meanwhile, Tech Leader carries on his way. Who else is in a scrap? We can see Big Boy Brazier trying to hunt down Jay. As you see Kashanika in the chat.
Kashanika. Get Betty to say it.
Gary now coming on to the rear end of Peaceful Explosion. Porsche versus Honda. Both run a little bit wide there, but I think they both got away with that one. And the Porsche looks a little bit unstable, as Hypertech also in the chat. Nice to see everybody supporting the pro lads as they're trying to give it their absolute best right now. And Overtaker still won't allow him to get away. Dan Davis, you're the man. Favourite commentator. Thank you, Tracy. Much appreciated. As Overtaker gets really close to the back of the Audi. Fury still not been dropped, so he's going to actually drop further behind. But he was further up the pit lane. He's right behind PN's car. So I don't know if he's going to get Smokey. But either way, Ripper and Overtaker go past. There is Fury in the pit lane. Big Boy Brazier's lost a little bit of time to Jay, Jay is now trying to hunt Smokey. Smokey should get Fury. He does indeed. Will Jay get Fury? That's the question. He's not quite close enough. As Fury slots right back behind Smokey Devil once again.
Yep, the only person left to pit will be Tech Leader. Will he pit now as he comes out of Ravazza?
No.
He does not.
Is this smart play by Tech Leader? Is he allowing the rest of the pack to race one another? He's on his own. He's got clean air. The only one he's got to really worry about is probably Nexus, but he's not really close enough to him. If Overtaker get a little bit closer to Ripper, then these two would be squabbling and they would lose time and Tech Leader would gain on them. So he's on his own, he's minding his own business, so we'll see how Tech Leader gets on as Ripper and Overtaker both have to straight line the chicane, so they're both looking a little bit squirrely at the minute. Meanwhile, Jay's with 2/10 of Fury.
But Fury's less than a second behind Smokey.
Yes, this is going to be... This is going to be an interesting fight. BMW versus McLaren versus Ferrari. Germany versus Italy versus Great Britain. And looks like the Italians at home soil is going to go down the inside of the McLaren. And Jay gets another position back. But Fury's going to have to lift there. And Jay gets the position. Oh, he's gone deep though. Jay missed it. He's missed his brakes. Fury goes back through. And he's going to have to...
Easily done. That is such a pain to brake for that corner sometimes. Especially when you're overtaking someone into the Vatsa.
It is indeed, as Overtaker once again gets closer to the back of Ripper. Ripper seems to be slower on the entries of corners, but he's so much faster on exits. So Overtaker just needs to get a little bit closer. Meanwhile, Gary was closer to Peaceful, but he's lost some time. Big Boy Brazier is now creeping onto the back of Jay. So Smokey Devil is really being the trolley train at the minute, while the top two have disappeared into the distance. Smokey's now starting to hold everybody up, and this is going to be a great little scrap for best of the rest. As Tech Leader is into the pits.
As I jump into him, I had PS1-esque graphics again. Maybe worse than that. His pit box should be in, probably actually inside my Merc.
So right now we have Ripper and Overtaker coming into the chicane, bouncing over the chicane. Oh, both of them have a squirrely moment. They're really pushing here. I don't know what lap times they're doing, but they'll be really pushing the limits here. Smokey comes into the chicane. He's got Fury. Oh, Fury's at a moment. He's kept it together, though, but he's going to lose out, possibly to the Ferrari. No, Jake's not close enough to capitalise. Big Boy Brady is out a moment now, and Peaceful gets closer to him. Gary's not close enough to any of them, so none of them really capitalise. Meanwhile, Tech Leader, has he been dropped? No, not yet. So he's going to be right in the middle of his pack. Where I was thinking he was going to probably clear most of these, he's going to be right in the... I think he's going to be at the back of it. Oh, yeah, he's going to be probably the Big Boy Brazier Peaceful scrappers. We'll go on board with Big Boy Brazier. There is Tech Leader. It's not worked out for him whatsoever. He's dropped behind Gary. So whatever Tech Leader tried there, it's just not worked out. And all the guys with the undercut have got away with that one. Meanwhile, top two are still going at it, but Ripper has not had his own way. 3/10 and Overtaker has literally been there the entire time.
Yeah, well, Overtaker run out of fuel like he did 2 weeks ago at Monza. He was running out of fuel.
Meanwhile, 1/10 separates Fury and Jay. Fury ran a little bit wide into the gravel trap. Now I see what happened at the start, says Kiss. They now head towards the left-hander, and Fury, oh, it goes a little bit wide, understeer from the McLaren. He does not like that corner, and the Ferrari all over the back of the McLaren. He can't quite find a way through, but he gets a little bit squirrely, does Jay, and he doesn't have a good exit. We go back to Big Boy Brazier, who's pressurizing Peaceful Explosion. Peaceful's slowly been working his way back up the pack after a relatively poor start.
Oh, Jay's aggressive over the chicane curb. That has to be a track corner. How far he was over.
Possibly so. Meanwhile, Overtaker, once again, not quite close enough to the back of Ripper.
He's gaining.
And we look to Smokey Double, Fury, and Jay. Jay's really been helping Smokey out a little bit, as these lot have been busy scrapping. Smokey has been pulling away from Fury and has been holding on to that P3 at the minute. So Smokey using the reverse grid well at the minute and holding on to P3 in the BMW. I think this will be his first podium in the Pro category this season.
Since being back down to Pro-Am for a season and coming back up.
So your closest fight at the minute is Jay and Fury. Fury just testing the limits here. I say that Big Boy Brazier has ended up in the wall. How's he ended up there? I'm not sure, but he is in the wall, and
that's not moving, is it?
No, it is not moving, and he's actually left.
Could have been internet. Could have been a connection issue, maybe. But
possibly so, but he was in the wall.
Trying to get back in, either. Really.
Oh, his Overtaker really now abusing the curbs. The Bentley's coming alive at the minute. He is right on the rear wing of the Audi.
Yeah.
Now can he find a way through down towards the final few corners here, as the Bentley looks so much more stable than the Audi at the stage. The Audi does seem to wear his tyres a little bit more at the end, but it hasn't got quite the traction, the Bentley. As you can see there, the Audi just uses its legs to just pull away. Meanwhile, Fury is all over the back of Smokey Devil right now. And Smokey just trying to hang in there. This is going to help the Teletubby Motorsport boys in the constructors. And Fury has a very good exit. Overtaker not close enough to Ripper. So Fury has a good exit. So Smokey now probably a little bit more grunt in the BMW as they head towards turn 1.
Yeah. As I can't believe how well Smokey pedals that M6. I really can't. It's compared to everything else, it's not a quick car, but he makes it work. He really does make that car work.
Yeah, it does seem to suit his driving style. Jay was starting to get close, and then the rear end got a little bit loose, and that's going to allow Peaceful Explosion through. Gary's not quite close enough, so Peaceful at the minute could be on the verge of a podium if anything happens to these two. So Peaceful, being patient, has got himself up into P5 now, and a good recovery from him. Fury, though, still looking for a move on Smokey. He's going to look to the inside of the left-hander and clips the curb, runs wide. And does that invite Peaceful? No, Peaceful's not close enough. He's just in a watching's length and just watching what these two are up to as Smokey has a wiggle and Fury spins him round.
Oh.
Fury spins him round, and that's going to allow Peaceful through. Smokey Devil can't get it going. There he goes, but Fury's going to drop down the order because he is now waiting for him.
He's waiting to give the place back. Good. Well done, Fury.
Yeah, that was
very valiant.
Yeah, and he's waiting, he's waiting. There goes Smokey now. The leader is on the final lap. Ripper has just started his final lap here, and Overtaker has lost time to him. So poor Overtaker has not quite gone to plan for him this one. He's bounced over the curb. He's straight line the second part of Tamburello, and he's going to lose even more time. So Peaceful now finds himself on the podium, and he does say every time Matt is away he tends to do relatively well, and at the minute he's on the podium again.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I thought about mentioning that in the pre-show during practice, but this is when Matt goes says something in chat. If he's watching.
I don't know if Matt is watching. He's probably still trying to recover from his travels, but either way, it is Ripper leading the way once again. Overtaker really, he was close to him most of the race, but really hasn't had an answer since. Smokey is now behind Louis Allen. He's lost out to Fury as well. So Smokey, good defensive drive for ages, has come to an end.
Wide by Overtaker through variants, not Aquamilla Marley. We'll get the right car on there eventually.
As Ripper now into the final few sectors he comes, as Smokey Devil still trying to find a way back past Louis Allen. Tibbs wasn't a million miles in the end, but he did get caught up in that big accident with Nexus. No Big Boy Brazier, so he'll have a qualifying ban for the next race unless he could prove it was internet issues. But I don't see him coming back.
Or PlayStation issues.
Or PlayStation issues. But either way, it is Ripper who wins once again in the Audi. He will take the first win of the night, carrying on the Audi onslaught, as the Bentley of Overtaker will come home in second. Peaceful Explosion is on his way for another podium when Matt isn't here. So Peaceful Explosion Mike will be very happy with that one. He will take P3, and you can see already he's very happy with that. As he crosses the line, P3 for Peaceful. Jay will take P4. Gary131 will come home in that 5th place position, but he did have Tech Leader right behind him towards the end, with Fury finishing in 7th. 8th will go the way of Smokey Devil by the list of things, as Louis Allen will finish in 9th. 10th will be Exit Tibbs, and Nexus coming home in 11th place. But wow, one interesting first race. Wasn't expecting Mike to be up on the podium there.
I don't think Mike was expecting Mike to be on the podium either. He's probably going to jump in the comment box in between.
Yeah, he's going to be sitting there thinking, Matt and Pavo, you don't have to be here anymore because I thoroughly enjoyed that without them.
Yeah, he's done it without Palava here either. As he's just said in the YouTube chat, get in.
Nicely done from him there, as Nexus now comes towards the line to finish his race, as I will get the tables all sorted now. But it is Ripper once again with another win to his name. Smokey Devil did a fantastic job earlier on defending, but it all just came undone in the end. Right, we will be heading to a quick break, as we will get the drivers ready to do their next race. We will see you in a few moments' time. Okay, we should be clear.
Green light, go, go, go.
I've just tagged Jamie on Discord saying, "Oh, you're coming back." So put it, Jamie retirement race by the Mets. Just put no fucking way.
Right, I'm gonna go get a quick drink in a minute.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I think Jamie's left the Discord. Yeah, you see Jamie in the Discord user list.
Has he left, has he?
I've got a feeling he's left the Discord so we can't tag him.
Lovely.
I can't see him unless he's only blocked me, because he seems to have his butt hurt about me. For some reason.
I don't know.
But can you see him, just in case? Because the ticket's going to have to go in for why did you fucking quit? No.
Yeah, hang on a minute, I'm just trying to... No. Ha. Is that correct? Yes. Wow. That's
Wow.
interesting. Just the championship standings. Hmm. Did he have a final name or anything?
What's that?
Big Boy Brazier. He's still in there for me. Oh no, there's an
He's,
exclamation mark. Unable to load profile banner, badges, and about me.
he's blocking everyone then.
He's there, but...
Yeah, I can't see him on my phone.
Whatever. Oh. No, I don't want to do that.
Which means Matt's, if Jamie's left again, that means Matt's on his own for Mondays to commentate. Okay, I'll pull out GT4s, I don't care.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a bit of quality.
Okay, right, we'll be going live in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport, and what an interesting first race we have had there. We are now down to 11 drivers, and just as we get through the championship standings, we have just been given a chance to speak to our third place man, and that is Peaceful Explosion. And Mike, whenever Matt seems to be away, you always end up in this party. There must be something going on between you two, surely. Is Matt secretly driving for you?
I just told him, mate, he better just start looking for houses over there or something. He can stay over there.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on the P3. An interesting race for you. It seemed like you were struggling in the first half just to kind of get involved a little bit, but obviously coming into the pits relatively early, clean air. Obviously, the top two were way out of reach for you. Just kind of a patient race from yourself.
Yeah, more of a climbing back into it race. I came in the pits, as you might have seen on the video, right behind Jamie. I don't think you could have got much closer between us. And I left in front of all of them, but then did my standard trick and dropped it turn one, let them all through, and then it was a recover after that.
But nonetheless, you probably would be happy the fact that P3 was probably the best you were going to get anyway. Overtaker and Ripper were long gone into the distance. So is that really the best you could have hoped for in that race?
Yeah, their pace is ridiculous. I think they'd have easily passed me even if I did have a flawless race. I didn't expect to have this pace up there. I thought there'd be a lot more faster guys than me this week. I wasn't feeling confident at all, but we'll see what race 2 brings, I guess.
Obviously, we are going into race 2, qualifying now. I'll try and make it quick so that you can focus on your lap in a second. But are you enjoying the Honda around Imola, or is it a bit tricky around here?
It's tricky. You go anywhere near them little yellow sausage curbs and you end up turning into something that NASA's just launched. But yeah, it's nice. I like the track generally, so it's just getting used to it. And like we said in practice, it's being smooth is key, especially here.
Obviously going into race 2, normal qualifying session resume. What is the hope into this qualifying session? Try and get yourself as close as Ripper and Overtaker and follow them around once again, or just kind of play it by ear?
Yeah, I think so. I think get as far forward as you can, which is obviously normal, but I was it 5th maybe in the practice times?
Yeah.
So if I can get anywhere near that, I think top half, I'll be happy. It's just avoiding the front. I had to back out of being a Fury and Jay sandwich in turn 1 at the start of that. I thought, I'm not having this again. I'm not getting crushed.
And I bet as soon as you saw Fury and Smokey having their moment, you probably thought, yes, Matt can stay in Switzerland a little bit longer for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I seen that and I thought, oh, something happened. And then I seen Fury going slow, so I twigged it. He's obviously caught him and given his place back. Unfortunately for Fury, there was 3 of us not far behind him, so we all come steaming through.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the P3 and best of luck for the second race. And you are looking quite good at the minute to complete a valid lap time, I believe. Yes, you are. So best of luck for race 2.
Cheers.
As Overtaker sets the benchmark of a 40.20 as Mike has only just done a 43 once, so I don't think he'd be getting into the 41s. But nonetheless, that is Overtaker's benchmark, and Ripper goes within 4/10 of him. But we still yet to see the best out of Ripper. I think he's got more time underneath him. Gary 131 is then next to come to the line in his Porsche. Towards the line he comes, and he will slot into P3. Fury on an invalid lap time. He will start his lap now, as it's the Jaguar of Nexus Nan to come towards the line. His next lap time that's going to be classed as valid. Will he go ahead of Gary 131? Not quite. He will stay in P4. Now we got your P3 man coming towards the line. He's in the party with us. He's in the number 11 Honda. A peaceful explosion towards the line. Will stay P5. So not quite able to get that together. Too busy. He was too busy. He's probably chatting to us, but no one else on a valid lap time at the minute. Meanwhile, Jay and Tibbs both have to stay in the pit lane. Obviously retiring last time out. They both cannot qualify for this race, so that helps Peace out a little bit more, because Jay and Tibbs were the 2 cars that were ahead of him in the practice session, so he'll be happy to know that. But it is Overtaker into the final sector once again. Can he improve on a 40.20? I know these boys have done a 41. I was on the verge of a 41 the other night, but being a Pro-Am driver, I messed it up. But here comes Overtaker to the line. Any improvement? He finds 3/10. He's got a 6/10 gap, or 7/10 gap, sorry, over Ripper. So as Ripper put the lap time together, 41.7 from Overtaker, what has Ripper got to fight back with? Towards the line he comes, and he does a 41.5. He goes, there you go, Ripper. That is game on, as he nearly hits the Jaguar at exit pit lane.
I was just watching that, but Ripper coming down, and next to this Jag was coming out. It was like, whoa!
Gary, another invalid lap time. It is then next. Peaceful Explosion coming to the final sector now. He hits the braking zone. He's going to hate me commentating on his final few corners now. He picks up the throttle quite nicely in the penultimate corner, but misses the apex by a country mile. Peaceful, what are you doing, lad? As he tries to get a good exit in the lawnmower as he heads towards the start-finish line now. The Simplay Racing Honda on its own today. Does it improve? He goes P3, finds 2/10 over Gary 131. We're still waiting for Tech Leader, Smoky Devil and Louis Allen all to set a lap time, as does Fury. Fury's still not out of the pits yet. Tech Leader towards the line. He now goes P3. And ahead of Peaceful, he's found 3/10 over Peaceful Explosion. We are back to Overtaker once again. And he has to find pretty much 1 and a bit tenths to go faster than Ripper. Where has Ripper been fastest? That is the question. And Overtaker opts to pit. And Overtaker has been fastest pretty much everywhere, bar the first sector. So Overtaker losing time in the first sector, but that's crazy to think that he was fastest, but he lost a 10th just in the first sector. As Ripper,
that 10th was all it took.
It is all it took, but Ripper towards the line now. Any improvement?
Yeah.
Oh, a slight improvement, a 41.52 now, as Peaceful has returned back to the pits and probably going to be leaving me now, as I was enjoying commentating on him driving. See you later, Peaceful. Best of luck, mate. Gary now comes to line. Any improvement? He does improve. He goes P3. So Gary's finding some pace in the Porsche, and this is what we tend to see with Gary PN. He seems to be struggles in the first race, understands what car he got in the first race, and then puts it all together in the second race.
Yeah, but I think secretly he misses his GT4 Ginetta, but he's playing this weird thing called darts.
Yeah, these like
Sim
miniatures.
racing darts. Sim racing darts. Sim racing.
I mean, I can't say much. I'm playing ice hockey a lot on the PlayStation at the minute, but either way. Tech Leader exits the final quarter. He's now next to come towards the line. Can he improve and get himself ahead of the Porsche of Gary 131? He finds some time, but not enough to go ahead of Gary. So a bit of time there for him to find, as Ripper is still on a lap. Into the chicane he comes. Oh, he takes a lot of curb. He's really abusing the limits here. And he's bailed.
Fury's now left pit lane.
And Fury has finally come out of pit lane. Can he get a lap time to go? Louis Allen is out on track, as well as is Smokey. Smokey is now the next man to set a valid lap time. Guys, if you haven't done so, then please head over to SimGrids to sign up for any of the races that you fancy getting involved in. We have got the GT4 Championship going ahead. We still got some places available for that. AM is also available for racing in as well if you are new to the league, so get yourself signed up to that. And also head over and look down in the description below to see the fantastic sponsors we have of Audio Sport and Design Manchester as well. Fantastic products from those guys as well, so give them a follow on all their media. If they're on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also or whatever it's called, X, TikTok, whatever they are, give them a like and subscribe. Christmas is coming up, so Design Manchester are offering some fantastic glasses that you can order from and personalize yourself, and also Audio Sport offers some Audio Sport offers some audio solutions and interior parts for your Volkswagens for T4 and T5, so have a look at all their fantastic stuff in their links below. And also make sure you hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single action here at Simplay Motorsport. Also, reminder, next week we will still be continuing the season on. We've only had one little break due to myself being away. We couldn't do the comms for the pro, so we had a week's break. But we are back to schedule, we are back on it, and next time out we will be heading to the Hungaroring for the 4th round of the season. Nexuses and Kashanika, whatever you want to call him, Kiss will call him, for their home race in the Hungaroring, as that's going to be a interesting circuit nonetheless, very tight and twisty. Who is going to produce the best laps around there? As I'm looking at the times, and it is Overtaker, the only one who is on a valid lap time, so we'll go on board with him. But the GT4s will be back on a Monday, the AM boys will be back on Tuesday, Pro-Am Wednesday, and obviously the pros back on a Thursday night, all within a week's time. Regarding after race 1, the championship standings looks like this. Ripper still leads the way with Overtaker in second place, 23 points behind. We've now got Matimovic still in P3, but his teammate is only 20 points behind. Gary 131 sitting in 4th place. Meanwhile, Peaceful Explosion is in 5th. He's only 2 points behind Sorry, he's only 3 points behind Gary131. Fury is in P6. He's only 2 points behind Peaceful. So it's all relatively close there. Nexus is in P7, tied with Exit Tibbs. They're only 2 points behind Fury. Then it goes down to Wolfinator in P9. Jay is in P10. With Tech Leader in P11, Emplava P12, Louis Allen is in P13, Euro is 14th, Smoky Devil is 15th, Ben Bath is in 16th, Shane is 17th, 18th is Big Boy Brazier, 19th is Breeze, and bringing up the rear is T yet to score a point. Regarding the teams, Teletubby Motorsport extend their lead on Jaeger Motorsport. They've now got a 45-point lead as Killer Performance is slowly working their way onto the back of Jaeger Motorsport. Titan Euro is sitting in P4 with Simplay Racing in P5. P6 is JWB Esports Racing, and they are in that P6 position ahead of Flying Potatoes in P7. Hot Wheels Racing bringing up the rear in P8. Regarding the manufacturers, it is Bentley still leading, but only 6 points ahead of Audi, with McLaren in P3, Ferrari in P4, Honda P5, P6 is Lexus, P7 is Porsche, P8 is Aston Martin, 9 is Jaguar, 10 is the BMW, Mercedes in 11th, Nissan in 12th, and Lamborghini and Retia still to make an appearance. Right, now we've got all that done. Ripper comes to the final corner. These are going to be their last and final laps here. Ripper will possibly get 2 more in if he's lucky. He crosses the line, no improvement. It is then Smoky Devil on an improvement. And at the minute, the shock at the moment for me, PN, is Gary. He seems to find some pace in the Porsche in this qualifying session.
Yeah, you might like him, Muller. But wait, it's not a British track, so maybe not. But you never know with Gary.
You never know, Gary. One place he will be happy to go to is Donington Park later on this season. He loves the British circuit, and especially the unique ones of like Donington Park and Snetterton. He loves Snetterton. He's very good around there. But either way, we are on board with the two-time champ. Comes towards the line. And can he find any improvement? No improvement there. So he'll have to go again. Fury, meanwhile, is still yet to set a lap time. He is on a valid lap time. And what is this going to be? Only P6 for Fury in the McLaren. Meanwhile, Peaceful Explosion, P5 towards the line. Any improvement? Yes, he now goes P3. Wow. The mid-pack is very close. He will be very happy with that. The next car on a bad lap time, once again, is Ripper. Tech Leader is on a lap time, as is Overtaker, so we keep an eye on Tech Leader because he's now the closest to threat. Peaceful's P3, but an interesting qualifying so far.
Mike could be starting a petition to put Matt down the Brabham.
Might be something that might actually have to happen at some point. We never know. Meanwhile, Ripper towards the line, he finds more time. A 41.2 from Ripper. Wow. Overtaker, though, is on a lap time. Is he going to find those magical 4/10? He isn't going to finish. He's only he stays P2, but he's 3/10 away. Ripper will get to complete his lap again, but Overtaker can't quite do him overall. That must really hurt for Overtaker. Really must be painful for him. After for years being the most dominant driver in Simplay on a one-lap pace, and now Ripper is giving him what we've all been suffering for the last couple of seasons. But Tech Leader towards the line now. Can he get ahead of Peaceful and Gary? He's going for the shortest run to the line. No improvement. He stays at P5. But it is now Fury. Fury is now coming to the line. He needs to improve. He needs to find that magical time that he needs to get here towards the line. He goes P3 right at the end. He pips Peaceful right at the end, and it is just Nexus to complete a lap time here in his Jaguar. But once again, it is Ripper on pole position with a 1:41.2. What an impressive lap time from him.
Very impressive. I think he needs success ballast.
might be something that we have to introduce at some point. Maybe 100 litres on board.
No, apparently you can do it on the server. Put success ballast in.
Well, our server's not really working very well at the minute, is it?
True. But, yeah. It runs okay, it's just our spectator doesn't work so much.
As Nexus crosses the line, he now goes P. He stays P. Sorry, he improves to P8 and goes ahead of Louis Allen. So, Big Boy Brace is not in the session. Don't know why he's been shown on my screen. But it is Ripper once again on pole position. Overtaker is getting closer, and bit by bit. Obviously, I don't know if Overtaker can complete the entire season, but nonetheless, he's still in the hunt for this.
Oh, I'm inside Overtaker now.
PN,
So
go on.
who do I think's got to win this race? Ripper.
You're going for Ripper.
It is a bit boring, actually, saying that.
Okay, prediction for race winner, and then prediction for best of the rest.
Ooh, who do I give the curse to? Who do I not be popular with?
Who's going to get the Who's going to get the magical P3?
Oh. Let's say Jay.
You're going to go with Jay.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because he can avoid the carnage into Tamburello.
Very true. Very true.
It's race 2, isn't it?
30 seconds.
It is race 2. My prediction is going to be Overtaker for the win. And I think best of the rest is going to be... Gary.
Ooh.
Go with my fellow Porsche lover. We'll see how Gary will get on. But nonetheless, this is your grid order. It is Overtaker. Oh, I say that. I've been returned back to the pits. Overtaker will start on pole position with his arch nemesis Overtaker with him on the front row. Fury, his teammate.
Overtaker is arch nemesis Overtaker. You mean Ripper and not
Ripper.
Overtaker?
I'm tired. It's been a long day, you know. Yeah.
So much
Ripper
hockey.
on pole. Yeah, too much ice hockey. Ripper's on pole with Overtaker, his arch nemesis, next to him on the front row. Fury, his teammate, right next to Peaceful Explosion on the second row. So Peaceful will be wanted to continue that podium streak. With Gary 131 in P5, Tech Leader in P6, in Access will start in P8, Louis Allen in P9, and Exit Tibbs and Jay will start 10th and 11th as well. As Les Fernie says that it's going to be Smokey for the win on this one. Obviously, if you do think someone else is going to win this race, then please put your votes in on the chat, as Louis Allen is going for a quick tidy up of the lawn at the minute in his Honda.
Well, he is in a Honda, I was about to say. I mean, there's 3 of them out there. Oh, that's Gary. He's just binned it on the warm-up lap. Oh. Coming out of Tozer. Whoops.
Classic Gary.
I think the curse has happened before on the warm-up lap. But I think we dip back through, which will be changed for next season.
It might possibly be changed next season. If you do drop it on a formation lap, you will start at the back. But in this case, Gary can take his position back. As Overtaker will back the pack up, and right now they're going to be on and off the brakes, make sure they get their brake temperatures, their tyre temperatures all set and ready. Guys, get votes in on who you think is going to win this one. The choices are Ripper, Overtaker, Fury, and Peaceful. So get your votes in. As I will want to turn that off. There we go. Because my Google thing is trying to translate everything for me there.
What, even English into English?
Yeah, it was having a little spammy then. But either way, it is Ripper on pole. He's opting to go to the left side by the looks of things. Overtaker's going to be on the outside.
Stay on the inside into the first part of Tamburello.
As they will get themselves into a lovely 2x2 formation.
Hopefully.
Eventually. But once again, Ripper versus Overtaker for the start of this race. We will go on board with Tech Leader for the start of this one. I think Tech Leader is going to be
I haven't hit the wrong button and gone to my car that sits in the pit lane. I'm watching from the back.
From the back, and it is going to be at the front. Audi versus Bentley once again. Ripper versus Overtaker. Overtaker does have some help of Fury behind him as his teammate, but Peaceful will be trying to give Fury a hard time. It is going to be round 3 of the season, the feature race here at Imola, and it is going to be an interesting race nonetheless. Ripper, Overtaker, who is going to get the start? And we are green here, and it looks pretty even. Overtaker to the outside, but meanwhile Gary's had the great launch, has as Tech Leader, but there's no way to go through because Fury and Peaceful are too busy fighting each other, and Overtaker's going to go around the outside of Ripper, and he gets the job done, but Ripper's coming back. Smokey's been tapped. Jay's flying through. He's hit Tibbs, but he's worked his way through.
Tibbs.
And Tibbs, once again, another bad start to the season. Another bad start, and that's just going to affect his season even more. So Peaceful's up into P4, while Jay and Tech Leader are trying to sort themselves out. Meanwhile, Ripper has dropped behind Overtaker. Now, if Overtaker backs him up, Fury is right there to support him if he needs him. But it's going to be Peaceful ahead of Gary 131, and Gary already on the rear wing of Peaceful Explosion. They got a long way to go yet, 45-minute race. And Tibbs, poor Tibbs, the bad luck continues for him here at Imola. He's at the back of the pack. Hopefully something will happen up ahead for him. Meanwhile, Fury is all over the back of the Audi of Ripper. Ripper goes a little bit wide. Fury thinks better of it. And Ripper's like, no you don't, young lad. I'm going to keep hold of this position and get after your teammate.
In theory, but he might be watching the mirrors, because Fury might be doing his flashy. But we can't see that at the moment because we're stuck on this camera.
Gary 131 all over the back of Peaceful Explosion. Peaceful trying to hold on to that P4 at the minute as they head into the braking zone, as Gary tries to capitalize on the slow Honda as he's trying to find any way through at the minute. They both run a little bit wide there.
Of course, the pit window is not open straight away.
It's not, as Tech Leader's just lost a little bit of time to Jay and the others, as Tibbs still trying to recover from that bad start. Overtaker still leads though, as Fury's lost a little bit of time to Ripper. So right now, Overtaker's opting to disappear into the distance rather than help his teammate out.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary's had a moment, as has Tech Leader. And Jay as well. So I'm not sure what's been going on here. And here comes Nexus and Smoky Devil. Then comes Louis Allen. So Tech Leader just got absolutely mugged by everyone there. I'm not sure what actually happened.
Yeah, I was just reading a comment from Jurassic Jam. Kunos also do a set of Corsa 2. It might be for a set of Corsa 2, not the ACC. And they won't do nothing with the PS4 version ever again.
Or Nexus ran a bit wide there in his Jag, and he's going to come under some pressure from Smoky Devil. Meanwhile, Gary 131 is under some pressure from Jay, and Peaceful's decided to disappear up the road. So it's still Ripper sitting in that second place, as he's got the Teletubby Motorsport boys in first and third and sandwiching him at the minute. Fury though is wanting to get onto the back of Ripper and try and give him a hard time. It's not often he gets a chance to do that, and right now this is his best opportunity. Jay meanwhile is still looking to try and make a move on Gary 131, but Smokey is a lot closer to Nexus. He's going to look to the inside, and Nexus holds it strong on the inside. No way for Smokey to go through. Smokey will have to wait a little bit longer, but Tech Leader gets back ahead of Louis Allen. But while this is all happening on, Tibbs is slowly working his way to the back of the pack.
Yep. The top three have dropped Peaceful at this phase in the race, but...
No, not quite. I think Peaceful's just holding his own. 2.2 behind Fury. He's not massively miles behind, you know. Gary is definitely lost out to Peaceful, and he's struggling to keep Jay at bay. Jay at bay. Nexus, meanwhile, has still got Smoky Devil giving him a hard time, and they've got Tech Leader and Louis Allen. So at the minute, the fight between Smoky and Nexus is really the fight that we want to keep an eye on, because anything can happen here, and Tech Leader and Louis Allen will be in the pound seat.
Notice there's not many front-engine GT cars in this race. You've got the Bentley and then the BM and the Jag. The rest are all mid-engined, including the 911.
Rear engine.
Well, where they've actually positioned it, it is mid-engined on the GT3 car.
Oh, Smokey's missed his brakes. He's hit the back of Nexus.
Oh!
And then Tech Leader hits him. Louis Allen hits him. And look who gains out of all that. It is Tibbs.
Did cut across the track there, but that was more in avoidance of the carnage.
And Tech Leader's got major damage to the rear end of his car. And Tibbs is going to be fancying the Jaguar and the Ferrari, knowing that they are walking wounded. So all sorts of chaos as they headed down towards the downhill section of Sector 2. Sorry, it's the start of Sector 3. But Tech Leader did gain out of that, but he's got major damage to the rear of his car. And I think
But he stays out.
he does stay out. The pit window hasn't opened and he's in a decent position, so why would you come in this early? Fury starting to creep a little bit onto the back of Ripper again. He's not allowing him to disappear. Peaceful, meanwhile, has dropped the top 3. He's not quite close enough. Gary has got Jay covered, and then obviously down to Tech Leader, Nexus, Tibbs, and then Smoky Devil, Louis Allen.
Yeah. And there's going to be a few slightly damaged cars to come in the pits to have repairs, if it's worth repairing. Sometimes the damage make the car handle better.
Well, at this point, Tech Leader doesn't look too bad at the minute. Doesn't look like it's hurting him too much, as Nexus is just testing the limits of the curbs. Tibbs, meanwhile, still trying to work his way onto the back of these two. Smoky Devil not quite close enough to him, and Louis Allen's trying to work onto the back of Smoky Devil. So,
it really is the closest fight on track, isn't it, from Tech downwards?
The Tech Leader and Nexus are separated by 6/10. The top 6, meanwhile, are all separated either by neck under 2 seconds or 4 seconds. So, not really much going on at the front at the minute. They've all got themselves sorted and balanced themselves out, while these lot are still trying to figure out where they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Fury's holding station about a second and a half behind Ripper, and Ripper's nearly 2 seconds behind Overtaker. Well, the gap's nearly 2 seconds.
See, Fury's doing what... Oh, Nexus has had a moment. He's in the gravel. Tibbs is going to get closer. He's going to get the run. He's going to get the slipstream as well. And here he comes, Honda versus Jaguar. And who's going to come out on top? The Jaguar going to the inside, the Honda to the outside. Tibbs, the young American, looking to go around the outside of the Jaguar. Is he going to get the job done? Nexus gets it stopped and meets the apex as well. Now Tibbs is going to try and get a better exit, try and swoop past him. He's going to have a better run towards Villeneuve. And he's going to have a look. He's going to look into the entry of Villeneuve. He's alongside. And Nexus gives him the space and respect, as does Tibbs give him the space. Oh, and it just gives him a shove, and Nexus just hangs in there. Great racing from these two.
It is. There's a little bit of rubbing, but we're touring car fans. We're used to that. A bit of rubbing. Rubbing is racing.
It is indeed. Jay has got a little bit closer to the back of Gary 131, so Gary's probably struggling a little bit here. But Nexus once again runs wide in the Jaguar. He's probably got some front end damage to his car. But he goes into the difficult section as he goes straight on there. He will have to give up the time.
That will be a corner cut. The game would say that we've cut detected and track warning with that one. Yeah, has to. If he gets away with no track, no time given or stuff like that, it's be like, okay, game.
Well, Tech Leader has now disappeared into the distance, so Nexus really struggling at this point. And Smoky Devil has now arrived on the scene. Louis Allen's not a million miles away either, so Nexus is struggling in the Jaguar, the oldest car in the game. And you can see here, he is trying his absolute best to try and catch on to the back of the guys of Tech Leader, but the two Ferraris have disappeared now, and Nexus is just trying to survive here. So that Ferrari isn't too badly beaten. He's not too bad at the minute.
He's probably given himself an extra 10 arrow with diffuser damage.
Well, you see Nexus just struggles in the first sector, the first couple corners. He doesn't quite get it hooked up. Smoky Devil not quite close enough either. So they all strung out a little bit through the first sector, and then the middle and the final, they all concertina up again.
Yep. Overtaking here, he has a 3-second lead up at the front of the field.
Yeah, so is Ripper just biding his time? Is he just looking after his car to get him a little bit closer? Peaceful's actually crept a little bit closer to Fury, so double podium for Peaceful on the cards, possibly? Who knows?
Possibly.
Gary 131 is P5, Jay is P6, and not quite close enough to Gary. Meanwhile, Tech Leader is on his own, and Nexus has got everyone else behind him.
The truly train now is behind Nexus. What could that be?
Oh,
he's straight loaded the chicane.
Nexus had to straight line it then. He has to give the time, but he's going to be running out of track warnings in a minute. 3 strikes, your 4th strike, and you're in the pit lane for a drive-through.
We actually had the first one last night in Pro-Am. For drive-through for track limits. It was with Just Game and Real. He stopped there and he hit all the wrong buttons. Apparently.
Exit Tibbs has had a great exit out the final corner. He is all over the Jaguar once again. And once again, Nexus is defending the inside. He wants Tibbs to go around the outside. And Tibbs tries to do so. Nexus has gone very deep. He's all over the yellow curb. And Tibbs just gives him a little bump as Nexus returns back on track. But Smoky Devil now on the rear end. Here comes Smoky, quietly minding his own business. He's now going to go down the inside of Tibbs, and Tibbs makes a place and drops back behind one.
Yep. From a British
and Louis Allen's gone through now.
That's just gone completely wrong for Tibbs, that sequence of corners.
Other than Louis Allen possibly going ahead of Smoky Devil, they've all reversed their positions. So now Smoky is the lead car. As E. McKizzle says in the chat, been a great race tonight. It has been fantastic to watch. All of them pretty much taking track limits there. Nexus was the only one to be in track limits, and he's been the one abusing them the most. Oh, and the rear end does not seem happy on Nexus's car.
It wants a bit more forward bias, doesn't it?
Reminder as well, we did get clobbered quite hard in the rear going in that downhill. So, as Tibbs misses his brakes and tries to avoid hitting his teammate and just straight line the chicane.
The window should open in like 20 seconds, I think.
32:30 is when the pit window opens. So I think all these guys, Nexus could be the only one to time it quite right. As they all exit the final corner, Tibbs and Nexus could do it. But they're not opting to.
Tibbs
pit window opens now, I think. Yes.
Now, and Nexus was already past the pit entry.
But he would have hit the brakes and slowed down in time, I reckon. So, meanwhile, your leaders, too busy watching the good racing at the back of the pack. Overtaker leads. He's got a 3-second gap over Ripper. Fury's really dropped off now. He's now 9 seconds off the pace of the top 2. But Peaceful's been hanging in there, just seeing the McLaren just ahead. And Gary 131 has been creeping on the pair of them. So like I said, Gary spends the first race learning how the car handles. And in race 2, he seems to come alive. In Kyalami, though, he was much, much more at home. But Imola, he's really pushing it. Saying might got a warning for that one.
Yeah. And you think 2 weeks' time, we're at Donington Park. And as Gary would say, yes, boy.
We are back on board with Louis Allen, who is now pressurising the back of the BMW of
Faker stays out.
Smoky. Smoker. You said Overtaker, and I called him Smoker. Nexus is now back on the rear end of Tibbs, so your fight's really at the back of the pack. Louis Allen and Smoky Devil were still trying to go at it. Overtaker stayed out, as did Ripper, as does Fury, so does Peaceful and Gary and Jay. Tech Leader, though, will he up to pit? Obviously, he's got damage to the rear end of his car, but he seems quite content, happy at the minute. He's pulled away from the rest of the pack, and he stays out as well. So now it is just 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th as
Louis
in
and
come
Smokey in.
Louis and Smokey. They both come in,
And didn't
as
hit
does
each
Tibbs.
other.
And Tibbs is in as well. So 3 cars in the pits, and they all done a brilliant job of not hitting one another. They've spoiled our fun now. That was good racing from these guys, and now we've got to watch massive
Yeah,
gaps.
no, there'll be massive gaps because each car might have different levels of damage.
I hate to say it, but Hondas were actually giving us some entertainment. And I don't know. But saying that, when we last looked, Overtaker did have a 3-second gap. It has now come down to 2.2. So Ripper has woken up and decided, right, okay, you've enjoyed your time at the front. I'm now coming after you. Fury is now pretty much off. He's off the pace of the leaders. He's 11 seconds behind them, and just holding station between Peaceful and Gary. But Gary is on the move. He's got a little bit closer to Peaceful. Smokey is done, as is Tibbs. Gets out ahead of all 3 of them. So Tibbs jumps Smokey and Louis Allen. The interesting is Overtaker goes past, as does Ripper. Fury only exit the final corner. Fury's going to have traffic. These guys will have to get out of the way pretty quickly, because here comes Fury, and he's got all 3 of them in the way. Gary's played that well, because these guys exit the pits. Fury will have to clear them. Louis Allen stays right out of the way, and he's possibly going to use him to try and clear this traffic. Gary, though, I think he's played a very clever play there.
Yeah, get it in the box.
Ripper 1.8 now behind Overtaker. That's another 4/10 taken out just in sector 1.
Benny's in for his pit stop. It's
Nexus.
going to be quite long because of the damage on his Jag.
So Tibbs had quite a quick stop there. I don't know if he repaired any damage, but Smokey and Louis Allen was very slow, and Smokey allows Fury through. Peaceful hasn't even caught these 3 up yet, so he's still got them to get through. But he was patient in the first race, and he slowly worked his way through the order, and he might do the same here yet. Pit stops might help him, but overtaken out down towards the final sector, and he is just ahead of Ripper. And you can see, go on.
Who will blink first and pit first out of Ripper or Overtaker? It's not going to be Overtaker. It's not going to be Ripper.
Will it be Fury next to come into the pits? Obviously, he's in a squabble of cars that have pitted. So will he opt to pit now? No, a lot of these guys like to get to the halfway stage. As Peaceful is in, he's now reacting to Gary's stop. Is he going to get it stopped?
Oh, that looked close. That looked really close to the pit limit line.
It did. Jake carries on. Tech Leader, though, is in the final sector.
Stays out. He must be happy with the damage on that rear diffuser, because it looks
another 4/10 there from Ripper. He is finding time. And look at his lap times. Let's have a look. He's done a 41.8, his fastest last lap. So he is catching Overtaker hand over fist at the minute. So Peaceful's in the pits. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes out against Gary. That's going to be close. Oh, I think Gary's got a little bit of damage to the rear end of his car. You can see a little scuff mark on the back, but I'm not sure what that was from.
I'm keeping an eye on Peaceful. He's now been lowered and he's away.
Right, I think this is still going to be very close to Gary and Peaceful. Peaceful is pretty much coming to the end of the pit lane. Gary's going to be up to temperature, up to speed. Has the undercut worked for Gary? Peaceful off the limiter? No. Peaceful will stay in front. And he's actually made time by the looks of things. But like I said, Peaceful will have to get his tyres up to temperature. He normally goes straight on the first corner after doing the pits, but this time he's actually made it.
He won't like you saying that one, Dan. Not either.
No, but hey ho. 3/10 that lap, so Ripper is bringing the gap down. He's not a million miles away. Fury carries on through. Will J carry on through? No, he stays out. and we've just got Tech Leader. So your top 5 all yet still to pit. It'll be interesting to see where Fury will feed out in all this. Tech Leader and Jay, I think they're in their own little fight now. But Overtaker losing time over Ripper. Ripper's been in the 41s. So yeah, last lap he goes faster again. He found a 10th that lap. Did Ripper. So he's slowly creeping onto the back of Overtaker. What has Overtaker's lap times been? He's been in the 42, so easily he's been a couple of tenths faster each time has Ripper. He's lost a little bit of time this lap. Louis Allen has got ahead of Smoky Devil, so Smoky Devil's lost the place there.
As Fury's now 16 seconds off the back of Ripper.
Smokey has a very big slide going into the downhill section, but he keeps it all together. Nexus is Jaguar really has struggled here at Imola. It's definitely not been the best car tonight, so I think he could take a win for saying that he survived. So Ripper has come into the pits. Now Fury and Overtaker staying out possibly. Fury's race is not with the top 2 now. He needs to focus on the guys behind, the likes of Peter and Gary, and he is going to pit. Excuse me. So Jay and Tech Leader still yet to pit as well. So 3 cars.
If I was straight over the pit, he's got both Smokey and Louis in front of him. He's going to be held up despite the blue flags. And by now, Smokey should have moved over and let Jay through because of blue flag rules, and he's not.
Well, he's in the middle of a scrap at the minute. I know Jay obviously wants to clear these cars as quickly as possible, but Smoky Devil refusing to get out of the way. The blue flag rule is now like he finally he's now got out of the way, but Jay's probably going, come on, man. Ripper has been dropped, and away he goes. And he gets away pretty quickly again. Peaceful is in the final sector. So Fury, when does he get dropped? Is he going to get ahead of Peaceful? He should do, but Peaceful's had a couple of laps to himself to get himself up to temperature. I'll tell you what, this is going to be close between Fury and Peaceful. Fury's been dropped. Peaceful is in the final corner. Peaceful might have jumped Fury here.
Fury's not driving. Fury's driving on the concrete in the pit lane.
Peaceful Explosion has jumped Fury in the pits. The undercut has worked. Where's Gary 131? He's not a million miles away either.
And all 3 of them could be in the same party at the moment. Overtaker is in to cover Ripper.
He is indeed. Now Ripper has obviously had just 1 lap to try and nail it.
There's a white Audi there.
It's a sexy white Audi at that. The 2 Ferraris are still opting not to pit quite yet, so that could be interesting. But Fury losing out to Gary now. Gary's got ahead of Fury, so Fury's had a moment, and his pressures obviously doesn't look too happy. The car's not where he wants it to be, so Gary has got ahead of Fury. And Peaceful, once again, is sitting in a P3. Mazimovic is going to be absolutely loving this. It's like Christmas has come early for him, just for him.
Oh, Fury was on the curb and had a massive slide. Don't you start with the Christmas stuff.
Just give him a taste of his own medicine, you know.
Overtaker, it was down and away. Where is Ripper? I believe Ripper's now coming to the start-finish line now.
Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be very tight. Overtaker's off the limiter. Ripper is going through. Ripper has got the job done. 1 lap and he's ahead. The undercut has worked.
Undercut definitely works in ACC. Oh, Overtaker's cut the Tamarello and missed his braking point.
He did indeed. And he lost a little bit of time. Not a lot there, but it is a Ferrari 1-2 in Italy at Imola with Jay and Tech Leader still yet to pit, but Ripper now holds the net lead as Overtaker did lead most of this race, but he's just been out strategized by Ripper here. And what's he got to do to cut a break here? The Audi's going to beat him once again at this rate. He needs to do something to stop that car.
Yeah. Jay is now pitting.
So we've had one lap of the Ferrari leading. And into the pits he comes. Peaceful though. He's enjoying life in his Honda in P5. Gary sitting in P6. And Fury in P7. Tech leader also, so both Ferraris opting to pit now. Louis Allen has just dropped off his teammate, Tibbs, who ended up in that scrap earlier on in the race, and he's jumped the 3 behind him, but I don't think he's going to catch anyone else. So Fury is just 23 seconds down the road, so this is the best Tibbs could get. But considering the start of the season, he had a great start. He was up with the pace of likes of Matt and Fury and Gary, and just the last 2 rounds have not panned his way. We'll see how he gets on at the Hungaroring, but nonetheless Tibbs has learnt very quickly that things in Pro are a lot harder than they are in Pro-Am.
Yeah. Different kettle of fish.
But nonetheless, he's still putting on a fantastic show. He's managed to keep ahead of the 3 behind him. His next goal really is, can he catch Jay and Tech Leader? Tech Leader is probably his best option. He's gone very wide in the chicane. So Tech Leader hasn't been dropped yet, and I'm pretty sure he will not repair the damage either. So he's now been dropped. So we've got a wounded Ferrari. Can the Honda catch him?
And we've got 19 minutes of this race to go.
Oh, Fury all over the curb there, struggling.
Takes us away. I believe Tex. That Fury's way in front of Tech. Tibbs is behind by most of Tamburello. Chicane.
Yeah, this is what I thought. This is what I thought, but he can see him. We thought Tibbs was going to have no scraps, but he could possibly get onto the back of Tech Leader. Jay, on the other hand, has stayed ahead of Fury. So Fury's having some form of issues here, possibly tyre pressures or something. He's really struggling in his McLaren.
All his pedals have moved away again.
Yes, possibly so. He's probably having pedal problems. So Fury really struggling with his pedals at the minute.
And meanwhile,
go on.
Guess who's 3rd place? But we're not saying nothing, touch wood.
It's peaceful. But Nexus is on the outside of Smoky Devil, and they've come together. Smokey and Nexus have come together, and yeah.
Smokey has damage. His rear bump of his hanging off a little bit.
Nexus is waiting for him.
I can see a bit of bigger panel gap there, but you'll probably get a few. Oh, Smokey's very loose now, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got major damage to the rear end of that car. Nexus is, yeah, I'm not sure what quite happened now. I think Smokey just squeezed Nexus ever so slightly, and now Nexus is thinking that he's obviously at fault. Smokey now having to sit behind the Jag. Ripper, meanwhile, still leads the way. He's got a gap of 2.5 seconds, I believe, 3 seconds now.
3 seconds now.
So Overtaker had the 3 seconds at the start of the race. Ripper's having 3 seconds at the end of the race.
I'm going to say this. This game is not a bad game. Unless you're in Am.
It is not, but you got to give it to Overtaker. He is trying his very best to give the fight to Ripper at the minute. And, yeah, Ripper at the minute is just in another league. Meanwhile,
we've got gaps everywhere now.
Oh, Gary, Jesus!
Smokey's in the pits, by the way, to repair his damage.
So that is going to put Smokey right to the back of the pack, and he's got to try not to retire as well, because if he retires, then that'll be a qualifying ban for the next race. Tech Leader, meanwhile, is keeping the gap to Tibbs. Tibbs has run wide. That's going to be a strike there. So all the gaps now are relatively spread out. The closest fight is your top 2, Overtaker and Ripper. And right now, Ripper has got this race all under control.
Once again, who can stop Ripper? can anyone stop him? He's more nearly as dominant as a certain Dutch driver in Formula 1 at the moment.
And I will end the poll there. I was meant to do it at the halfway stage. I basically forgot to do that.
Forgot.
Yeah, but Ripper is everyone's favourite to win this one, and at the minute he is doing so. Unless he makes a mistake and Overtaker capitalise from it, I just don't think it's going to happen. Overtaker just does not have the pace at the minute to stick with a Ripper.
No. It's all that promise with Ripper not getting close enough, and like in the week off we've had practicing around Imola, but it comes to the night, Ripper digs something out of the magic car pit of his hat and says bye.
It's that Audi. He's just so comfortable, so dominant in that Audi, and I think I think we might see him in another car maybe in seasons to come. Who knows? But we will see. Either way, though,
it depends what platform we're on, because if we go ideally say PS3. Wow, that's gone backwards a generation. That'd be impressive.
That would
if
be
we go
impressive.
PS5, if we go PS5, I don't think he plans to get a PS5. I think he plans to go PC.
Well, there is the option of a PC as well, so we might have a PC league, who knows. But either way, he is still champion of PS4 at the minute. Until our cameras change. Go on. Let's our cameras change.
Yeah. We could do one on Xbox as well, because there's at least one member of the admin team with an Xbox Series X. Me.
Lucky you. Right.
Which means I have played the new Forza.
The new closest fight on track is now Louis Allen versus Tibbs, teammates. And at the minute, Louis Allen is creeping onto the back of his teammate Tibbs, which Tibbs looked like he was attacking Tech Leader for a while. And Tech Leader is able to control that damage he has on the rear of his car. And if anything, he's catching Fury. Fury's possible pedal problems are probably causing him an absolute headache right now.
Yeah. Cool. Louis right on his teammate. First rule of motor racing, don't knock off your teammate.
That is very true. Peaceful and Gary, they're still close to one another as well. Peaceful has a tendency to make a pirouette every now and then, so Gary is probably hoping for that magical dance anytime soon. But at the minute, Peaceful is keeping it all under control. Peaceful's going to be hating that I said that now.
Yeah. If he finishes there, he'll be coming into the comms box and really going for it. I'm not even looking at Peaceful's car when I'm going through the cameras at the moment.
Louis Allen and Tibbs both struggling at the minute. Tibbs had to pretty much go right off the edge of the runoff there, and right now Louis Allen is trying to just creep onto the back of his teammate, but try best not to hit him. Meanwhile, Tech Leader has now got the gap to Fury to 2.4. It was 2.1, but Fury seems to maybe got his pedals in a comfortable position and nailed the final sector.
I find old college textbooks quite handy to hold things in place.
Louis Allen has now gone ahead of Tibbs, so Tibbs probably allowed his teammate through or had a moment somewhere, but nonetheless Tibbs has dropped behind Louis Allen.
I think Tibbs let Louis through. You can see Louis got a bit more pace at this stage of the race.
Fury has dropped behind Tech Leader now, so Tech Leader now goes ahead of Fury. Fury's on the curb. Yeah, he's on the curb. Hang in there, Fury. You don't want to qualify in bad, lad. Keep it going. The two Hondas, though, are coming up behind him.
I think it's tyre pressures.
Probably a mixture of both.
But
Mike in
Can't
the
tell.
Matt in the chat. No way, Mike is third again. Yes, he is, and your teammate is struggling to catch him. The man that can stop him getting a podium, he's currently in P3. Gary is P4, and I think the way this will turn out, Mike will actually jump ahead. Possibly Matt in the championship, I believe. Let's figure this out, shall we?
Well, you've got all the spreadsheets, I know.
I have got all the spreadsheets, so we will have a little fiddle around. I'll put in the positions at the minute, but so looking good so far for Peaceful. Oh, Tibbs has had a moment. He's in the gravel, and I think he's had tyre problems as well. Louis Allen now is within 2.8 of Fury. Gary has started to bring that gap down, but it's not enough. Ripper has disappeared into the sunset. He's enjoying life in his Audi.
Tibbs is pitting. Maybe to get rid of that set of tyres and put a different set on.
Possibly so. He will
But don't
definitely
retire,
need
because
them.
if not, it'll be another qualifying ban if you retire.
It will indeed. And around the Hungaroring, you do not want that at all. No, shut up, Matt. I'm not interested in drop scores whatsoever.
It's almost like Monaco, but without the walls.
It is indeed. Fury's under some massive pressure right now from Louis Allen. Louis Allen's all over the back of Fury. Fury struggling heavily here. And Louis Allen's on the grass. Oh, and
Trying
he
to do
just...
Kevin Estra at one of the Nürburgring races in the night in the Manfei Porsche, passed on about 2 wheels on the grass down the dotted Jaffa.
Is that Smoky Devil behind these two as well? Yeah, Smoky's behind them, unlapping himself. Oh, and he nearly hits Fury there. So Smoky trying to unlap himself, nearly caused absolute carnage here.
Yeah. As Louis gone to the inside, you might as well let Smokey go. He's a lap down. Tibbs is not moving.
And now Fury is going to lose out to Louis Allen there. And Smoky Devil is probably thinking, come on, boys, get out of my way. I'm quicker than the pair of you. But he can't. He has to sit there and endure this pain. And he's about to cause possibly chaos here. Fury's trying to fight Louis Allen over Smoky. He's just in the middle of this scrap. And Fury's trying everything he can to stay on Louis Allen. He's all over the back of that Honda. But I think Fury is really struggling with tyre pressures or even pedal problems. Now, I've just quickly done the tables. If things to stay as they are, Gary 131 and Peaceful Exposure. Oh, Fury's gone. He's kept it together. He's kept it on track, but he has lost out there to Louis Allen, and he's really struggling here. Whatever has happened to his McLaren, it is driving horrendously right now. So, as the points stand, Peaceful and Gary would both jump Matt in the championship. It'd be Gary in third place, level on points with Peaceful Explosion right now, and there'd be 4 points ahead of Matahimovic.
Gary can see Peaceful.
He's probably now sitting there in the headset saying, come on, make a mistake, Peaceful. You know you want to. Pirouette time. Ripper, meanwhile, cruising out in front. Overtaker is in second. Peaceful still holding P3. Gary's in P4. Jay, a solid P5 for him. Kept his nose clean and has had a solid race 2. Tech leader P6 with that damage. Louis Allen P7. Fury struggling in P8. Nexus isn't a million miles away in P9. Smoky Devil P10. And Tibbs in P11.
But Tibbs is circulating again. That's good.
It is good to see. Matt reckons he's going in Pro-Am. Unlikely, because he's got 105 points. And at the minute to be in the drop zone, which is Big Boy Brazier and Shane, they're on 24 and 28 points. So I doubt it's Pro-Am anytime soon.
And none of them are scoring either.
No. At the minute, though, Gary 131 and Peaceful Explosion. I was about to say Big Boy Brazy then. Peaceful Explosion are the closest fight on track, and right now Peaceful is just keeping the Porsche at bay. Regarding the regarding the manufacturers, with Ripper on his own, right? Get this, Ripper on his own. He's only 1 point behind Jaeger Motorsport as it stands.
Fury's now been lapped, by the way.
So Fury's been lapped. And Fury will be wishing he was back in his...
Lamborghini, season 1.
No, he'd be wishing he was back in his BMW...
M4.
M4.
GT4.
Oh, Peaceful's gone off! There we go. Peaceful has made the mistake, and Gary 131 has now gone back up into P3. Oh, Peaceful. Peaceful. You just off there. Meanwhile, Jay isn't a million miles away from these two. And he's probably 10 seconds if to do anything stupid towards the end. But Peaceful has lost out to Gary there.
You cursed him, didn't you, there?
I did it on purpose, to be fair.
As your comms cutting it.
I mean, Gary really didn't do anything. You need to say more like, yes, Peaceful, because he dropped it all on his own. So, but I do know that Gary does struggle with the rear end of that car. So let's have an update of the points. And, yeah, Gary would extend the points as well. So Gary's just got to keep it on track now, but Peaceful has to find a way through. Right, last 4 minutes of this race. Ripper still leads quite comfortably. Overtaker in second. Gary's now P3, but he's only 9/10 ahead of Peaceful Explosion, who's coming back at him. Jay, how far away from these two is he? He is 10 seconds. He's losing time. Them. Tech leaders P6, Louis Allen's P7 on his own. Nexus is P8. Fury's dropped behind him now in P9. Smoky Devil's P10 and Exit Tibbs. Fury and Tibbs have just come together.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what on earth was going on there. Fury is very slow. Is struggling to select the gear. But they have to be careful because
going on there?
Peaceful has caught the gap down to 6/10. Oh, this is gonna.
What's Tibbs doing?
I'm not sure.
He's about to return the pits. That's going to be return the pits. Yep, there you go. Return the pits by Tibbs.
He has returned back to the pit lane. Gary's having a squirrely moment. The Honda's coming back. Peaceful versus Gary. An old fight that's been going on since season 1.
I wasn't here in season 1.
The very first race here at Simplay Motorsport was won by this man, Peaceful Explosion, and he won a race in Bathurst as well in his old Mercedes on Project Cars, and he's not won a race since. But he's not even won a race on ACC, but the level of drivers on ACC are a lot higher. Now, 8/10 was the gap, and Peaceful's just got to tidy things up a little bit. This is for a podium. This is for bragging rights. 7/10, sorry, between these two. Now, this is going to be an interesting fight to the end. Tibbs, meanwhile, I don't think will be coming back out. Fury's internet is quite high, actually, so he's struggling, possibly with maybe a bit of lag. I'm not sure.
Well, I've just seen Tibbs comes out of the pits in a minute because he returned the pits.
He did return to the pits, but he has done majority of the race. So if he does choose to come back out, he has got a 2-minute wait, remember. So, yeah, it's going to be a while till he comes back out. As Peaceful's lost a little bit of time to Gary. So Gary's now extended that gap.
Oh, there's the struggling Fury in front of Gary.
Okay, the leader is on the final
as Ripper starts the final lap of this race.
Smoky Devil was on the back of Louis Allen here and racing him quite hard to unlap himself. Louis Allen moves to one side, defending from a car that's lapped. I would have just allowed him to go, to be fair.
I would, but it's also part of preservation because they get impatient and rear-end you.
Nexus is not really close to Louis Allen, and if anything, Smoky Devil is just going to cause possibly damage or contact with Louis Allen. So it's a risk that he's playing with right now that could end badly. Yeah, Gary's caught a struggling Fury, so we'll see how this goes. But Fury coming into the first couple of corners. And there is Peaceful trying to hunt down Gary 131. Fury, meanwhile, not making it easy for Gary here. And Gary pushes Fury out the way. And that's lost Gary time. Fury is in the gravel and he's back on track again. He's just circulating to get to the end. Meanwhile, Ripper is into...
to get to the end.
He is indeed. Ripper is into the final corner. He has made it 6 from 6 out the final corner, and Smoky Devil goes past Louis Allen. But Ripper wins round 6 here. He's won the feature. Can anybody stop him this season? He finishes in first. Overtaker is going to finish in second place position. So more points for him on the table, as we do have a car coming to the end. That is Nexus. He's going to finish in 8th. The question is who is going to be 3rd, and I think Gary might have done enough.
Into the tricky braking zone for the VAT servo, especially if you're in a KTM for some reason. He just didn't want to stop you Monday.
And Gary, my prediction has come true. Gary was best of the rest. He's just going to hang in there. But Gary 131 will take a P3. So Gary will finish on the podium with Peaceful in P4. Jay is going to come home for a very good P5. I am going to get a poll out for driver of the day. So Jay comes home in P5. Tech Leader will finish in P6. The Ferrari's struggling here. We will get driver of the day, and we'll have a Ripper, Overtaker, and of course Gary
Peaceful.
131
And Peaceful.
Peaceful. There comes to the line. Finish in 6th place. Smoky Devil does get ahead of Louis Allen at the end, and that is Imola done and dusted here for the pros. Matt's going to be very happy. Ben says, I think I should have just got a driver day for surviving in the Jaguar. Well, not quite, but it is once again Ripper who is your race winner. If Pete, can we have him in as well, as obviously Ripper doesn't like to do, or he doesn't have a headset to do interviews, so we'll speak to Overtaker, Gary and Peaceful if they can get in. And while I am doing that, we'll get the tables up to date just to make sure I have got this all correct. Take it in here. But Ian, just before I get on and do interviews with these guys, quick summary from yourself tonight and your driver of the day.
Oh, Pro was pretty hectic in places. Good to see. Some hard racing, some questionable racing. And yeah, thank you, Imola. The driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Peaceful.
You're going to give it to...
Yeah, because no one expected it really. But Matt's not here, so...
Louis Tips didn't finish on that one as well, so he won't score points on that one. As we all have, I believe we have all the guys in with us now. We will start with, and here he is in the pie. Not quite the podium you were hoping for, but nonetheless, you've got to be happy with tonight's racing. You finished the night with a third and a fourth.
Yeah, it was a good race between me and Gary there. One more lap and I'd have had him, because this thing on the straight was reeling him in, but I was pushing too hard. I went deep because it turned 7 or 8, whatever it is, just before the hairpin at the back of the track.
Yep.
And that let Gary through then, and that was it. It was catch up. I need literally one more lap to be at least side by side.
A classic peaceful mistake. You had a little bit of a twitch going into the second sector. If you possibly didn't have that twitch, would you have him covered towards the end?
I think so. Going down that final straight then to the line, I'd have been side by side into turn 1. So that would have been very interesting last lap.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, you said before you even got racing tonight, you did a bit of practice yourself and was unsure how you were going to get on tonight. Didn't feel like you had the pace, but nonetheless, you've walked away with a P3 and a P4 while Matt was away again. So it seems like Matt just needs to just not race so that you can actually have a better season.
Yeah, pretty much. I've said to him, if he just moves to Switzerland, that'll be brill, and just does his commentary. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's his tantrums in the chat.
Well, we do have Matt in the chat. We won't speak to Matt because he is away at the minute and he has not been racing. We'll speak to him later. But nonetheless, it was great nice race for you, Peaceful. We head towards Hungaroring for the next race of the season. My other question before we talk about Hungaroring, GT4s next week, yes or no?
Depends. It depends on time and if the wife's busy.
Sprint race. You've got to get the sprint race in.
Yeah, I could probably do the sprint.
Obviously the GT3s for the Thursday night. Hungaroring, a tight, twisty circuit, Monaco-esque kind of track. What do you think you can do in the Honda? And obviously, regarding the championships, well, not official yet. We still need to go through any penalties and stuff like that. You are sitting 4th in the championship now, behind Gary. What is the plan for Hungaroring?
Same as tonight. I'll hold my hands up. There's no way I'm getting 1st and 2nd. Those guys are just too fast, absolutely rapid. Hats off to him. I came out at one point, I thought, overtakers either spun or I'm keeping up with him. Next minute he pulled away. So he obviously had a little error, and that's why I closed the gap by a second.
Well, nonetheless, it's been a fantastic night worth of racing for yourself, Peaceful, and congratulations on the P3 and the P4.
Cheers, congrats Gary, overtaking the first great race, guys.
And we do have Gary in the chat. Gary on the podium in the Porsche. Congratulations, mate. How does that one feel?
Yeah, it feels good. As you know, I sat behind the wheel since last Thursday. Well, no, Thursday before. So, yeah, it was a bit blind. I had about 10 minutes after last Thursday. Got in late tonight. Daughter wouldn't go to bed. Typical. So I managed to get 2 laps in, both invalidated, and I was thinking, this is not going to be too sharp. But yeah, picked up some points and happy days.
Obviously, very Gary-esque. You obviously struggle in the first race, but you kind of find where your boundaries are with the car and then come back in race 2 much better. Obviously, with no Matt here, was it all about trying to score as many points as possible while he was away? And it looked like you did have a great scrap with Peaceful tonight. Yeah,
great scrap. We were both keeping each other honest. Yeah, like you say, first race went too sharp. Made a few little tweaks at the brake, as you probably expected. It seemed to settle a bit better under the brake, and that's where I was struggling. So I managed to sort of get that a bit better. But yeah, enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to next week, actually, now.
I was going to say, next week we do go to the Hungaroring, a tight, twisty circuit. Possibly will suit the Porsche a bit better, because obviously you want the traction shows in that. What are you hoping for at the Hungaroring?
Just, again, you know, I'm not fighting for the championship and the drivers, but it would be nice to get another constructors under the belt with the team, so I'll just be looking to get as many points as I can.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on the P3, mate, and we'll see you in a week's time at the Hungaroring.
Yep, cheers, and well done, boys. Good racing. Cheers.
And finally, we go to your P2 man, Overtaker. It looked like you had the pace at the start of that race. You had Ripper honest at the beginning. You were pulling away, you made 3 seconds, but then he started creeping you back in again, and then the pit stops once again, he nailed you there. But you are getting closer to him, aren't you?
Yeah, not really. I don't know where he found the pace. Yeah, but I need to stop losing the races in the pits. He's going every race now. He gains 2 seconds or more in the pits. So I need to find out what's his secret.
But nonetheless, you have got to be happy with obviously 2 second places. I know obviously you're hunting for that win. You want to stop Ripper from beating you every single race, but nonetheless you have to be happy with the second place. And also looking at the tables at the minute, you and Fury have got quite a comfortable gap in the constructors as well. So all in all, it's not been the worst night.
Well, I mean, race 1, I think the stewards are gonna have to look his overtake on me. I don't know what it's gonna be, because he was on my inside and I braked pretty late and I barely made the corner and he braked even later. And we made contact, he pushed me wide, and then he got the position in race 1. So maybe I do get the win, let's see. But the second race, yeah, like you said, I was putting the gap on him. I guess he was struggling, I don't know. And then after the pit stops, or maybe even before that, he found something. And he was just pulling a couple of tenths from me every single lap. So great job to him. He deserved that second one. But the first one, we'll see.
Obviously, we then head to the Hungaroring for the next round of the season. Again, a circuit that's tight, twisty, a lot of corners. Might suit the Bentley quite well regarding abusing the curbs. Obviously, the chicanes as well. What can you do there? But obviously, the Audi seems to be quite good at the Hungaroring as well. What's the overall goal for the Hungaroring?
The Audi seems to be good everywhere, so I don't know. I'm just gonna say that I'm missing my McLaren for Hungaroring. I fell in love in the McLaren at the Hungaroring because it has amazing downforce and it's all about the downforce there. So I don't know in the Bentley, we'll see. I knew Matt was fast last season there. I know Bentley is not too shabby there. I think it's similar to Bentley, but I love the track, so maybe that's going to be my advantage this time around.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on 2 second places, and again, we'll see you possibly in the GT4s. If not, we'll see you in a week's time at the Hungaroring.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be home for the GT4, so I'm not gonna be there, but amazing racing today. A bit lonely in the second one, but congrats to Ripper and everyone else today.
Congratulations to you too. As PN, that is it for the pros this week at Imola. It's been an interesting race. It's been the fight between Peaceful and Gary for the final podium positions. Ripper continues his winning streak again. Can anybody stop him? Will Matt be able to stop him or overtake next time out at Hungaroring?
Yeah, will we have the same situation in a week's time? Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and find out.
Yeah, make sure you tune in, because obviously Monday night we'll be back once again with the GT4s. They'll be hitting the circuit first, as then the AMs, Pro-Ams, and also the pros will be back on track once again. That is it here for the pros. Regarding driver of the day, 1 vote from PN to go to Peaceful, and another vote from myself as well. So Peaceful is your driver of the day, and thank you to everybody who did vote. So congratulations, Peaceful, on driver of the day. But that is it from us
I didn't
here.
vote for myself this time.
You didn't? Well, I see your stepdad's in there, so he probably put a vote in there himself. But nonetheless, congratulations, Peaceful. The fans obviously saw your hard work tonight, and obviously sees that Matt is your curse. But congratulations to all the guys here tonight. We will see you on Monday night for the GT4s. But Ripper, once again, 6 from 6. Can anybody stop him from winning? I've been Dan Davis, also PM Motorsport in the chat. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified, and we will see you next time out at the Hungaroring. Good night.
Good night.
And we're clear.
Sorry.